What EVs are we likely to see in Australia in 2023? Although 2022 saw a half reasonable influx of EVs here in Australia, we still need a bigger selection and cheaper ones. So first, let's take a quick look at what we currently have. And all prices I quote will be in Australian dollars. And I'm only looking at battery electric vehicles, not plug-in hybrid shit. Okay, because with those you get the worst of both worlds and none of the best. Audi e-tron is an expensive one, coming in at between $150,000 and $250,000, depending on its configuration. BMW have got a couple of EVs in their I series, ranging in price from $100,000 and up. Once again, some expensive pieces of kit. BYD's got the Atto 3 being delivered here in Australia for around $45,000 to $50,000. It's the second cheapest EV on the market here at the moment. Hyundai now has 3 EVs for sale here, namely the Ioniq, which really isn't available anymore, the Ioniq 5 and the Hyundai Kona. The Ioniq 5 runs from about $72,000 and the Kona EV from about $55,000 and up. Jaguar has had its time with the I-Pace, which is still priced a bit too high in my opinion, from $140,000. I don't even know if it's still available here. Kia has got its EV6 and Niro EV. The cheaper of these two is the Niro, which is priced from about $65,000 and up, and the EV6 coming in at about $73,000. Next, we've got the very laughable heap of rubbish from Mazda called the MX-30, which is priced from a ridiculous $72,000 and a range that you might get down to the end of your driveway and back before you need to recharge it. MG has got the excellent ZS EV, and this is priced from about $45,000, and it's only hampered by its range, but the new updated model does have slightly improved range on that. Mercedes-Benz has got a few of its EQ series here, A, B, C or something, and their prices start from about $80,000 and go on up. Mini has got the Mini Cooper SE, starting price just over $61,000. Would be nice if that car had a bit more range as well, because it's not too shabby otherwise. Of course, there's the ubiquitous Nissan Leaf, priced from about $51,000, but it's got its major drawback of no battery management system. Polestar 2, priced from a range around $72,000, and it's not too bad a looking car. Porsche Taycan, priced from $160,000 and up to a ridiculous $353,000. Yeah, I'll just have a couple of those. Not. Renault had the Kangoo electric, but I don't think that's available any longer in Australia, and there is a new model in the pipeline apparently. And let's not forget Tesla, which currently you can only buy the Model 3 and Y here in Australia. Volvo has had its C40 Recharge on the market this year, priced from $75,000, and the XC40 Recharge from $81,000. Now, I may well have missed a couple of the EVs there, but it does show that we've still got a reasonable selection in Australia, just not as many as other countries, and we really still need some cheaper ones. So hopefully 2023 will see a number of new entries into the market here. And following on, we're going to go through some of what we know already. So once again, we'll start with the letter A and work our way up. And we've got the Audi e-tron GT. It's built on the same platform as the Taycan, They're all owned by VW anyway. And whilst it's a very sporty car, it comes in at a price premium of starting at $250,000 Australian dollars. Yeah, okay. BMW will be bringing in a few new EVs in their i-Series. The most expensive will be the i7, which is their flagship model based on the 7 Series sedan. It's going to cost an eye-watering $300,000 plus when you've got it on the road. Whew. And at the other end of the scale for BMW is the iX1, which will come in a couple of variants with single or dual motors, the latter capable of 0 to 100 in a reasonable 5.7 seconds, and prices start at around $83,000 plus on road costs. Hopefully, we're going to see the BYD Dolphin or Atto 2, whatever it's going to be called here, entering Australia very early in 2023. Whilst externally this car is similar in size to a Toyota Yaris, because it's built from the ground up as an EV, internally it's more the size of a Toyota Corolla. So it's got the best of both worlds there. Overseas, it's got two battery sizes, just over 30 kilowatt hours and almost 45 kilowatt hours, which gives it a range of just under 300 kilometres and around 400 kilometres. I expect here in Australia, we'll just get the bigger battery version, and hopefully that's going to come in under 40,000, making it the cheapest EV on the market here. Pre-orders may be opening very soon for that, so keep an eye out. I don't think it's going to be $35,000 though, which is a pity. Sticking with the BYD, we've got the Seal or Atto 4, should be arriving later in 2023. Now this is going to be a good competitor for the Tesla Model 3, and it will undercut it in price, but probably not in features. Overseas, it comes in a variety of motor and battery sizes, with the bigger battery of 82.5 kilowatt hours and all-wheel drive, with the sporty variant capable of 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 3.8 seconds. It's expected to have close to a 500 kilometer range in the real world. We've got no idea on the pricing yet, but hopefully it's going to start in the region of $60,000 for the lower end model, and then up around the 75 for the higher spec model, which will compete with the Model 3 Performance. Cupra is a Spanish brand under VW, and they will be bringing in the Cupra Born. Some models are already here for looking at. It's a full EV to add to their stable of plug-in hybrids. It should arrive here March 2023, according to Cupra, and orders should open up very soon. When I spoke to Cupra in Perth, they said it would have a 77 kilowatt hour battery with a WLTP range of 540 kilometres. So let's make that 475 for real world. And they also said it's going to cost in the region of $60,000. And you know what? It's not a bad looking little car, actually. Ford, they're going to have a new e-Transit early in 2023. It's only going to have a 68 kilowatt hour battery, which will give it around a 300 kilometre an hour range. But it is designed more for the tradie and last mile delivery. It's going to have 11 kilowatt AC charging capability, and interestingly 115 kilowatt DC fast charging. And as I've said many times, EVs now need to come with a minimum of 100 kilowatt DC fast charging. So this is getting there. GWM, Great Wall Motors, another Chinese company. We're going to be seeing a lot of their cars over here, Chinese ones. They should be bringing in the GWM Aura Cat, Funky Cat, whatever they call it. Now, Aura is actually the name of GWM's sub-brand. And I know that patents have been issued in Australia for some of the different Aura models. Once again, they say the cheaper one, which sells for around 35,000 Australian in China, I expect that'll be around the $50,000 here, but you never know. Keep your fingers crossed. Hyundai, they're going to be adding the Ioniq 6 to its stable here. The Ioniq 5 and Kona Electric and so on. Now, this is a pretty sleek, aerodynamic, efficient sedan that should have a real-world range of over 550 kilometres. Pricing is yet to be fixed, but it's expected to be near $80,000. Sister company to Hyundai is the Kia, and they're going to be introducing the EV6 GT very soon. So this is the performance version of the EV6, and it can do the 0 to 100 sprint in 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 260 kilometers an hour. Pricing, though, will start above 100,000 is a good guess. They should be also bringing the Kia Niro Plus to add to the Kia Niro EV. Now, this is a purpose-built EV now, and it's more designed for taxi use, and it will be priced from about $65,000. Yet another Chinese brand, LDV. They're going to be busy here in 2023 in Australia. They're bringing in 3 new EVs. The most anticipated of which is the ET60, which is an electric ute pickup truck for you Yanks. And although it's going to be priced from over $90,000 with a range of only 300 kilometres from its 88.5 kilowatt hour battery pack, yeah, I feel those specs are somewhat underwhelming. But because it's going to be the first EV ute in Australia, it may very well surprise me and sell quite well. LDV are also bringing out the eDeliver 9, which is aimed at last mile delivery market again. It's got a lower range, about 250 kilometres. It comes in a few different heights and lengths. So it's got a load capacity of about 11 cubic metres to 12.3 cubic metres and a payload of 1,350 kilograms up to 1,410 kilograms, depending upon wheelbase and so on. It should feature an 88.5 kilowatt hour battery, but 80 kilowatts DC fast charging only, again under 100, and 11 kilowatts AC charging. So all those companies that buy those stick it in their units at night and they can charge it overnight on the 11 kilowatt AC. Depending upon which configuration you order, according to the LDV website, it's going to be priced from 45,000 up to about 63,000. So this is a pretty good fleet buyer option. They're also going to be bringing out a rather strange looking, in my opinion, MIFA 9, which is going to be a luxury 7-seater, which will have about a 400 kilometer range from a 90 kilowatt hour battery. It's also going to have 11 kilowatt AC charging and a bit more respectable 120 kilowatt DC fast charging capability. Pricing's uncertain, but I expect it will start over $100,000. Mercedes has been bringing in a few EVs in 2022, and their new entry for 2023 will be the EQE. So this car was announced in 2021 at the Munich Motor Show, but it should arrive here sometime in 2023 with a 90 kilowatt hour battery and a claimed range of 660 kilometers on the WLTP cycle, so under 600 kilometers real world. It's still pretty reasonable. No pricing yet, but I don't expect it will be cheap. Also arriving later in 2023 is going to be the EQE SUV, which is a higher riding version of the saloon. And we may also get the EQS SUV. That's going to be priced well outside of most Australians' range unless you've got lots and lots of money spare. Now, a car that I think will do very well is going to be the MG4. We've already looked at the MG ZS EV, and the MG4 is going to be a great hatch-style car. It's built from the ground up as an EV, unlike the other offerings from MG, which is the ZS EV and MG5. And it's received some rave reviews in the UK. Over there, it comes with a 51 kilowatt hour or 64 kilowatt hour battery pack. And there's also a hot hatch variant in China. But whether that's going to make it overseas or not remains to be seen. So I'm ever hopeful that it will start under 50,000 Australian, or even closer to 40,000, undercutting the MG ZS EV. I think that's one that needs watching. So as soon as that comes out, have a close look. The Polestar 2's proven quite popular, and the Polestar 3, when it arrives, should be just as popular. Although it is priced from about 135,000 Australian dollars and up. But it will be coming with the dual motor version and a 111 kilowatt hour battery. That's big. Skoda Enyaq iV. Now that's been confirmed for Australia, although it's doubtful if it's going to arrive in 2023. The order books may open later in 2023. In the UK, it's proving quite popular. It comes in quite a few different variants, from the Enyaq 60 to the Enyaq 80, which has got a range of about 500 kilometres, and they're priced between 60,000 Australian and 90,000 Australian. The Enyaq iV is about an ID4, or pretty good sized SUV. And I think that's another one to look out for. Subaru has got the Solterra and Toyota the BZ4E. And these are basically the same car with different badges on. Honestly, I wouldn't touch either of these with a barge pole. Their stats are quite underwhelming. Their prices are too high. And hopefully Toyota's BZ4E, the wheels won't fall off anymore. Volkswagen should be introducing the ID3 and ID4 and possibly the ID5 into Australian markets in 2023, maybe into 2024. They still seem to be having some software problems, so I wonder if these are going to be worthwhile offerings to consider. The ID3 is a VW Golf size EV or small hatchback. The ID4 and 5 are medium-sized SUVs. Some of these are going to be going through a facelift, so we shall wait and see what specs and pricing will be for these. Finally, Volvo. Now, the EX90 electric SUV had been slated for release later in 23, but I believe now it's not going to be arriving until late 24, which is a shame because it's quite a good looker. Well, there you have it. New EVs destined for Australia next year. I could have missed one or two possibly and included some that may not arrive for another year or so. But at least we are getting more and more EVs into Australia, and at a variety of price points from under 40,000 up to 10 times that price. So thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget, click that like and subscribe button below. It costs you nothing, but it does help the channel and help motivate me make more videos. So I'll see you all very soon.